Demise Reprise. Written by Chris.
Betcha 5 bits I survive!
Called Rainbow Dash. Twilight had just entered her castle's map room to find her friend hanging upside down from the chandelier some 50 feet above her.
What?
Said Twilight, her punctuation as audibly distinct as it was non-standard.
Cannonball!
With no further explanation, Rainbow Dash hurled herself downward, wings beating furiously as she worked to reach terminal velocity in a fraction of the distance any other pony could achieve. With a mighty splat, she crashed headfirst onto the table. Twilight blinked. Rainbow Dash didn't move.
That was an extremely impressive piece of acceleration,
Twilight thought.
even if it wasn't really a cannonball.
For about a quarter second, that thought had her brain to itself before its inevitable companion arrived. Twilight elected to speak to the latecomer out loud.
Dang it, Rainbow Dash! What is it this time? Hey, Applejack, can we talk for a minute?
Applejack paused from her farm work mid-buck, smiling at her friend.
Well, howdy, Twilight. I didn't hear you coming.
Her smile slipped a bit as she noticed Twilight's dour expression.
Is something the matter? Rainbow Dash just killed herself. Ah,
Applejack nodded saggily.
well, it's like my granny always said. You can lead a Pegasus to water, but you can't stop those feather-brained degenerates from drowning themselves. Oh, lordy, they're so dumb. I mean, seriously, some of my best friends are Pegasi, but do you know that?
Well, she goes on like that for a while. You get the gist.
Right. Anyway, I won't keep you long. I was just hoping you could tell me how you get bloodstains off of furniture. Why, sure. It depends on whether we're talking fabric or... Wait a minute. How did you know I knew how to clean bloodstains?
Twilight shrugged.
Well, you're a farmer, aren't you? And?
Twilight looked over her shoulder, seeing that they were all alone, and continued.
Come on, Applejack. You and I both know that a pony who raises livestock is going to know a thing or two about bloodstains.
She smirked.
I wasn't Celestia's prize prodigy for nothing, you know. It's basic deduction.
Applejack chuckled.
I guess there's no pulling one over on the know-it-all like yourself. You know, not many ponies realize just what we do with these critters we keep. Makes you wonder why they think we have them.
Twilight tossed her head.
Well, to be fair, not every pony would think to follow the logical chain from shearing sheep to they'll inevitably get accidentally nicked sometimes. Therefore, a farmer probably has plenty of experience cleaning up bloodstains.
Applejack stopped chuckling.
Are you serious? No, actually, that's fine. Let's go with that. Yep, lot of sheep shearing accidents. So, about the bloodstains. Right, come on. I'll give you a bottle of the stuff we use.
She turned, nodding for Twilight to follow her.
So, you'll deal with the bloodstain and then what? We gonna head out tomorrow? Yes, let's aim for dawn. Might as well get this over with. Hey, Fluttershy, got a second?
Fluttershy looked up from the feeding trough she was filling, a gentle smile on her face.
Of course, Twilight. It's good to see you. You too. Anyway, Rainbow Dash just killed herself.
Fluttershy lifted her hooves to her mouth in terror.
Oh no, that's horrible. I didn't even realize she was depressed.
Tears filled her eyes and her breath began to itch.
I'm such a terrible friend. She was crying out for help and I never even... Hey now, relax.
Twilight said in as soothing as a voice she could manage.
Look, I'm about 98% sure she wasn't upset or sad or anything.
Fluttershy bit her lip.
She wasn't? No, I'm pretty sure this was another Rainbow Dash made 6 specious leaps of logic suicide. Oh!
As quickly as they had come, the tears were gone.
Well, that's a relief, I guess. What did she think she was going to do? I was sort of hoping you knew.
Twilight confessed.
She didn't even try to monologue at me this time. I assumed she thought her plan would be self-evident after she succeeded. Well, did she?
Twilight gave Fluttershy a flat-lidded glare.
She splattered herself all over the map room table with no explanation. What do you think? Right. Sorry.
Twilight sighed.
It's fine. I'm just gonna go clean her up now. Okay.
Fluttershy rubbed her hoofs together.
So, yes, we have to go, and no, I don't enjoy it either. But something friendship, I don't know.
Twilight massaged her temple.
Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure that even the bonds of harmony merit the number of times we've had to do this. If you'd like, I can get the other girls.
Offered Fluttershy.
I mean, if you'd rather get home. Well, cleaning up my friend's dead body after her overdramatic suicide would usually be pretty low on my to-do list, but when the alternative is explaining to my friends that they have to take an early morning road trip because Rainbow Dash is an idiot, and then still have to clean her up, yeah, if you want to tell them, that'd be great.
Twilight turned to leave.
Applejack already knows, though. Meet at the castle first thing tomorrow? We'll be there. Great.
Twilight glared at Rainbow Dash's body. Rainbow Dash's body didn't respond, which wasn't exactly unexpected, but was annoying nonetheless. With a sigh, Twilight lifted a bottle of peroxide with one tendril of magic and a bundle of rags with another.
Just great.
Tartarus is an unwelcoming place. The land surrounding the Stygian cave is suffused with a dark miasma that defiles sensory description. And before that grim entrance stands Cerberus, watchdog of the underworld.
Could you please go fetch Rainbow Dash's soul for us, Mr. Cerberus?
Asked Fluttershy, one of the heads growling half-heartedly, but the other two barked and slobbered in a friendly way. Outvoted, the first head rolled his eyes and the dog lopped down into the cavern.
Can you imagine if we actually had to go down there and get her ourselves?
Twilight asked.
Isn't it bad enough that we just have to hike out this far?
Rarity quivered.
Oh my,
she murmured.
To face the horrors of Tartarus, it's almost more than I can bear to think about. We've been here before, though.
Pointed out Fluttershy.
Twice, I think. 3 times?
Yeah, it's really just take the staircase down, then you're there, added Applejack.
Well, yes,
admitted Rarity.
But there are a lot of stairs.
Applejack opened her mouth to respond, but at that moment a dreadful baying echoed from the cavern mouth. Cerberus emerged from the blackness, holding Rainbow Dash's spirit.
Ah, sweet, you guys came for me,
said the ghost of Rainbow Dash.
We always do,
Rarity said with a sigh.
For some reason,
Applejack added under her breath.
Yeah, great,
cried the mist.
So let's get going with the magic making. Before we do,
said Twilight,
would you mind telling us why you killed yourself this time?
Suddenly, the mist looked very nervous, an impressive feat, considering it possessed no identifiable form or structure.
Do I have to? Yes. Right.
The mist made a gulping sound.
So, you know how your life flashes before your eyes right before you die? Not nearly as well as you do, dear,
quipped Rarity.
And you know how when you're bored, time seems to go really slow?
Twilight put her hoof to her face.
She hasn't even explained yet, and I already have a headache. So I was setting up the rain clouds on Friday, and it was like super boring, right? Because you just push the cloud over here, and then you wait for it to finish raining, and you can't make it hurry up because Ponyville's flood insurance already hit its limit after the first time I tried to do that. So you're just hanging around, waiting, and you can get to the point anytime,
said Rarity.
Okay, so I was up there being bored, and I thought, if my life flashes before my eyes when I die, but the last bit is boring, so it goes super slow, then that'll make it take longer for me to finish dying, right? Because, well, obviously,
Twilight barked a laugh.
Yes, obviously is obviously the word which best describes that conclusion. But then, waiting to die while you are watching something boring would be boring too, so that'd make it take even longer, and that's boring, and it just keeps going around like that. So then you're just lying there, not dying forever.
The mist quivered a bit in Cerberus's jaws.
So you see, it was all a brilliant ploy to achieve true immortality.
Every pony considered that for a moment. Rarity finally spoke.
Honestly, it's not the worst reason to kill herself she's ever come up with. That is a low bar to clear,
Growled Twilight.
Well, yes, but this is Rainbow Dash we're talking about. Isn't it fair to grade her on a curve?
Applejack broke in.
So ignoring the part where none of this makes any sense to any pony with half a brain, your plan was to, I don't know, lie in unbelievable agony on Twilight's table for all eternity? No, obviously. Every time she says that word, it just hurts me a little more,
Groans Twilight.
I mean, yes, I'd stick there for a while, but then you guys could just come and heal me with a magic rainbow laser or something. And then I'd be like immortal and totally awesome at the same time. Which is why I waited to do it until you came home, Twilight. That way, you'd be right there to get the girls and make with the harmonizing. Plus, hanging around on the ceiling was way boring, which was perfect. Once you stopped being bored and in pain, wouldn't you just die like regular?
Fluttershy asked. Twilight leaned over and asked,
That's your problem with the plan? Really?
but the mist was already hemming contemplatively.
Well, I wouldn't be dead because laser magic, but yeah, once I stopped being bored, I wouldn't be immortal anymore. I guess I just need you guys not to heal me then. Unbelievable agony on Twilight's table for all eternity.
Applejack helpfully repeated. The mist scrunched its nothing in thought.
Oh, crud. Okay, well, I'll think it through better next time.
The mist seemed to vibrate a bit.
Well, ready when you are. Let's get with the respawning.
Then an awkward silence, which Twilight eventually interrupted by clearing her throat.
Actually, before we do that, the other girls and I have a list of demands.
She levitated a scroll up from her saddlebag, unrolled it, and cleared her throat a second time.
Number 1, do not kill yourself anymore.
She rolled the scroll back up.
Actually, there's only one demand. I wanted to add please, but I got outvoted.
Fluttershy put in. The mist vibrated again.
That's it? Sure, fine. I promise I won't kill myself anymore, unless... I'm gonna stop you right there, hun,
Interjected Applejack.
See, we were thinking more of a blanket suicide ban. As in, no killing yourself, not even if, well, you feeling the risk, but not even then. Not even then?
Cried the mist.
But that's the most important time to be able to kill yourself. Honestly, I don't see what the big deal is. You can Rainbow Dash.
Rarity firmly interrupted.
Most ponies don't get a second chance at life, let alone the 5th.
She looked questionably at the other girls.
6th.
Twilight supplied.
6th.
Continued Rarity.
But for whatever reason, the elements of harmony have apparently decided that you continued your existence in a net gain for powers of friendship, love, and goodness. That notwithstanding, we are getting tired of being the element's designated conduit for bringing your lazy flank back topside. Harsh,
Muttered the mist.
The first time you killed yourself, I think all of us understood.
Twilight put in. Oh, that was Twilight. Then she frowned.
Well, for a certain definition of understood, anyway. Part of me still refuses to believe you couldn't grasp the inevitable consequences of attempting the super secret wonderful technique of jumping off a cliff with an anvil strapped to each wing. I'm still a little surprised she didn't realize Spitfire was joking,
Said Fluttershy.
I'm not.
Rarity whispered back.
And I can almost understand the second time, after the rest of us went on that epic quest to discover a way to resurrect you, only to learn that the power was inside us all along. I think we all had a lot of questions about how our newfound ability to bring you back worked, and what its limits were.
Twilight frowned.
Which still doesn't excuse you immediately killing yourself so we could see if you could do it again. But to repeat, I can almost understand it. I'm glad I have such understanding friends,
Said the mist.
So, Magic Rainbow Laser any pony? But the last 4 have been stupid, even for you.
Twilight finished.
And all of us have decided that we don't want to spend the rest of our lives galloping back and forth from Tartarus every time you think of some reason why you'd like to try something that even you know is fatal. But that's not fair. How come the rest of you get to kill yourselves whenever you want, but I don't? Because we don't keep killing ourselves. And also, we don't get to kill ourselves whenever we want.
She turned to the other girls.
Unless you all think there's some reason don't kill yourself should be a group rule, that is. Nah, it's fine. I'll manage. Great.
Twilight returned her attention to the mist.
So you agree not to kill yourself, or else you can just stay in Tartarus timeout until you change your mind. Wait, what if... Okay, what if all of us are trapped in the middle of a desert and there's nothing to eat, and the only way for the rest of you to survive is for me to kill myself so you can cannibalize me? Ew. Also no.
Rarity cleared her throat.
Far be it from me to undercut this ultimatum, but maybe Rainbow Dash would be more willing to accept supervision. Yes, indubitably.
Twilight arched an eyebrow suspiciously.
What do you mean? Well, what if the new rule was no killing yourself unless you get Twilight's permission first? What if she says no?
Whined the mist.
I would, every time!
Twilight shouted. Then she took a deep breath.
But, okay, Rarity, I see what you're getting at. It's like Girlie always says,
Added Applejack.
those dang blind sky hooligans just can't survive without us real ponies propping them up, keeping them fed, and stopping them from constantly slaughtering themselves and each other. And let me tell you, the crisis we face from the rise of misogyny... Okay.
Twilight said, her voice cracking slightly.
Rainbow Dash, do you promise not to kill yourself unless I specifically give you permission to?
The mist mumbled something inaudible.
What was that? Yes, Mom, jeez.
The mist vibrated again.
Now hurry up and laser me.
Twilight looked at Rarity. Rarity shrugged.
Alright, let's do this, I guess.
The girls closed their eyes and the overwhelming force of pure harmony engulfed them. A moment later, they all laid prone on the ground, exhausted. The mist was glowing with a light of ineffable purity. Cerberus released it as an ethereal cord it could from existence itself, and the light guided the mist gently through the blue flames, sending it down in front of the girls. The light swelled, becoming a blinding flash with an anticlimactic and then vanished. Every pony took a minute to blink away the blindness.
You think Harmony could come up with a way to do that without burning out every pony's retinas?
Twilight groused.
But I guess it really doesn't matter since we're never going to have to do this again. Right, Rainbow? Yeah.
The newly reconstructed Rainbow Dash said, utterly failing to appreciate the miracle which was a new body for her dispossessed soul. She flapped her wings, lifting up off the ground.
I promised, didn't I? Cross my... Wait a minute.
Rainbow Dash tried again to cross herself with her hoof, and for a second time failed.
What the hey? Rainbow Dash?
Asked Fluttershy.
Why don't you have any legs?
Rainbow's head darted from side to side, then down.
Twilight? Why don't I have any legs?
All of the ponies took a minute to ponder that. While the bewinged but otherwise limbless Rainbow Dash hovered in front of them.
Guys?
Rainbow Dash asked.
Where's Pinkie Pie?
Fluttershy looked down.
She, said she was busy this morning, and then she'd be by later if we still needed her. What? What's more important than bringing back Equestria's cool? It's wonderful! And also, one of the 6 guardians of reality or whatever. She said it's Twist's birthday. Her what? She said it's like a birthday, but on the day you would have been born if you weren't born on your birthday.
There was a long silence.
Oh, I get it. Birthday.
Twilight exclaimed.
That's actually pretty clever for Pinkie Pie. Okay, girls, focus in a little bit here.
Rainbow Dash hovered angrily in front of Twilight.
I can't be the world's best flyer without legs. I need them for signing autographs. So how are we gonna fix this? I don't know.
Twilight scratched her chin.
I guess Pinky's absence meant the resurrection was only a partial success. Though, how that ended up meaning no legs is something that would require a lot of research. I've got some books back at the castle I could...
A glint entered Rainbow Dash's eye.
So, this is all because Pinky wasn't here? Well, that seems like the most... So if she'd come, but somebody else stayed home, what would happen? Without more research, I can't even begin to... Wait!
The glint became a gleam. With all her authority, Twilight looked her legless friend in the eye and said,
Rainbow Dash? No. Better to ask for forgiveness and permission!
Cried Rainbow Dash, and before Twilight could react, Dash slammed her head down on Twilight's orb. As Rainbow's body suddenly became dead weight, Twilight was awkwardly thrown on the ground, locked in a forehead embrace with the newly deceased Pegasus. The other girls rushed up to help Twilight, but she quickly pulled her horn out of Dash's skull.
Rainbow Dash, you get back here this...
She stopped mid-tirade as Cerberus' middle head snuffled, then snatched something invisible from the air. That invisible something concealed in a familiar-looking, non-corporeal mist.
Nice,
The mist said.
Now, Rarity, you go get Pinkie Pie and tell her that she and the others can try bringing me back without you this time.
Every pony else?
Every pony else, wait here. Every pony else, wait here.
It giggled.
This is gonna be so awesome.
Twilight tried to wipe the rain off her face, but only managed to smear them all around. Applejack offered her a handkerchief, which she accepted gratefully.
So, are we bringing her back?
Applejack asked. Seeing Fluttershy's glare, she quickly nodded.
I mean, yes, we're bringing her back, eventually, but, are we doing this now, or... Yes, Applejack, we're still going to bring her back.
Twilight grumbled.
Though, I suppose, based on what we know now, we should probably wait for Pinkie Pie to show up. I don't see what the hurry is,
Sniffled Rarity.
I vote we leave her here, at least through the weekend. As tempting as that sounds, no.
Twilight said more firmly this time.
We're going to bring her back right away, because I just remembered something. And that is...
Applejack prodded.
I remember that we're friends.
Twilight shrugged.
I mean, despite all of this, Rainbow Dash is still my friend. And when you're friends with some pony, you help them out when they need help. Even when it's not convenient. Especially when it's not convenient. Because any pony can be friendly with you when it's all fun and games. But getting up at dawn to march adjacent to the bowls of Tartarus, to resurrect your friend not once, but twice in one day, even though it's entirely her own fault she did in the first place, well, that's what real friends do.
The girls all nodded.
It's too bad we don't write Celestial letters anymore,
said Rarity,
because that would have made a really good one. I still write letters to Celestia,
said Fluttershy, looking around in confusion.
When did the rest of you guys stop writing letters to Celestia?
Applejack cleared her throat.
We're gonna try to get her to stop with this, suicide thing, right? Right. Getting ponies not to kill themselves is definitely also friendship, but we can't do that if she's already dead,
Twilight replied.
Besides, another part of friendship is pranking and embarrassing each other, and if we bring Rainbow Dash back, I think I can make her do something she might find humiliating enough to get her to think twice next time she wants to kill herself.
She shrugged.
Granted, she probably won't learn anything from that either, but it's worth a shot.
Rarity arched an eyebrow.
And what, pray tell, are you going to do to embarrass her?
Twilight grinned mischievously.
Before she killed herself, she bet me she would survive. Rainbow Dash owes me 5 bits, and by Celestia's name, I'm not gonna let her get out of that bet just because she died.
The grin became a little more genuine.
After all, I am a princess, which means I have the power to enforce debts, with the whole government of Equestria at my back. And the only thing more certain than death is taxes.
The end. Wow, can you believe that, boys? Can you... What?